chapter 13. For the leader, a psalm of David. How long, O Lord, wilt you forget me? Forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart by day? How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? Behold you, and answer me, O Lord my God. Lighten my eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death, lest mine enemies say, I have prevailed against him, lest mine adversaries rejoice when I am moved. But as for me, in your mercy do I trust. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing unto the Lord, because he hath dealt bountifully with me. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. Once again, this is for the leader. It's a psalm of David, and it's a song of David. We'll pick it up here in verse 2. How long, O Lord, wilt you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long? Sometimes, and this is probably in a time where David was being oppressed, maybe being chased by Saul. But we see that David he feels like God's forgot about him, and he's hid his face from him, or not having any regard for David. And we'll find out sometimes in life this is exactly how we all feel. Sometimes like we've been forgotten, like all we do is get the bad end of the stick, so to speak. But sometimes that's just the way it is, and we'll find out God's always got a greater purpose. God sometimes has to expand us in places that we need expanding. And there's always a lesson, see, in everything of life. God is the teacher, and everything is a lesson as we go forth in life. We're always learning, always trying to understand the purpose, and this is these things that God makes plain before us. God makes plain our purpose in life. Verse 3, how long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart by day? How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul? And to take counsel in my soul is to try to find purpose for self. See, to try to find some kind of purpose for myself. If all I am filled with is sorrow, if all I am filled with this world's word sorrow is to be engaged in an act of sorrow, but now it's used as something that we have within us, within our understanding, even by day. And this right here, I believe King James Version says daily, and that would be more like our understandings are based in sorrow continually. Feel like I'm afflicted. How long shall mine enemy be exalted over me? These that oppress, and we'll find out, these that try to control, or even in David's case, murder or kill. For, behold you, and answer me, O Lord my God. Lighten mine eyes, lest I sleep the sleep of death. Behold you, or consider, consider you, Lord. And I believe that's what King James Version says, consider. But regard, have some regard for me. Answer me, give me a answer, because God's always good to answer in our prayers to God. Give me some lightenment mine eyes, and lighten mine eyes, or open them. Give me some understanding, unless I sleep the sleep of death. Unless I die, have no purpose, have no reason for living. And 5, lest mine enemies say I have prevailed against him, lest mine adversaries rejoice when I am moved. Lest mine enemies, and these enemies, these are those ones that are hostile. They act hostile against you. They come against you. We'll find out. These were always those ones who laid in wait for the weak, and they lay in wait for those that are less fortunate, though even the innocent. We'll find out in David's case. Lest mine adversaries rejoice when I am moved, lest mine enemies, these ones that are those that trouble me, I believe is what the King James Version says, and this word is solder. These ones that cause me distress, these ones that are, and we'll find out, they are hunting him. They was hunting David, looking for him, trying to hunt the beloved, hunt the soul, is what they was doing, because they knew that God had made him king. God was using him for an example. And these were those that hunted for him. They hunted the soul of David. Lest mine adversaries rejoice when I am moved, or when I slip, or when I fall. And we're talking about everybody that sought any chance against him, for any reason, any purpose. We're even in our understandings, where they did seek chance after him, trying to, in case he slipped, in case he erred, and they caught him. 6. But as for me, in your mercy do I trust. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing unto the Lord, because he hath dealt bountifully with me. But we'll find out, as for me, David says, in your mercy do I trust. In God's mercy, because he knows that God is merciful. And even though David was in affliction, even though he suffered greatly at the hands of others, especially it seemed like, he trusted in God. His understandings were always in rejoicing in God's salvation, because he knew God was somehow going to work it out. God was somehow going to make everything just fine, because he always does. He always did. And David already knew this, so he put his faith in God. He put his trust in God. He knew God was going to work it out. It might take a little while. Sometimes he'd get in predicaments he wouldn't think God could get him out of, but God always did find a way. And he knew the Lord had dealt bountifully, and this word bountifully, fully. He knew the Lord had dealt fully in a full. This word is gamal, and it means to deal fully with, to have a full recompense, a full reward, a full just thing, because David knew if he walked before the Lord would surely go before him. This was a promise given to those that had the law, that had the understanding that God gave in the beginning. David was put in a peculiar situation, and when David sinned, we know that he always turned to the Lord. He knew that the Lord would have mercy. The Lord would would deal with him, and then he would be in his understanding from then forth, because there's always a lesson in everything God has to do. Sometimes we find ourselves in the troubles of life, but we know that somewhere there is a lesson, and usually it has to do with the law. We're going to move forward. Chapter 14. Turn and return.